we're going to be talking about not chalk pastels, oil pastels. Oil pastels are kind of like crayons, but they act a little bit differently. So here I have got a bunch of color combinations. So this is orange and blue, light blue and yellow, purple and white, pink and green, and red and gray. So they all kind of make weird colors. Some don't look as good as the others, like this one, but some of them make really pretty colors, and there's a bunch of different options you can choose from. One thing I do not recommend is using black. You can use, like, to make something darker, don't use black. You can use like browns or grays or anything, but just don't use black because it can make it like, it doesn't work at all. It just makes the whole thing black, and it doesn't make it look nice, like, at all. So it's kind of hard to color with those. Yeah. Next is charcoal pencil, and this is kind of like chalk, and it's also like very hard to erase if you go too dark. So things you can do with this is just shade, and it's very dark, and it's also kind of hard to shade with. But you start out really dark. You do like this as you would normally shade. So you can start out dark and you can get light, but when you go light, you have to press very lightly so it doesn't it's not too dark. And it depends how light you want to go. If you want to keep it like pretty dark, then push harder, obviously. But all you have to do, okay, it has a weird texture, and also you can do that if you touch it. It moves around if you touch it. So you kind of have to leave it alone. It's kind of hard to shade with, but when you get used to it, it's pretty easy. So say if I did that and I accidentally touched it like that, you'd get it all over your hand and you'd still move it. So that's kind of a downside, but it's also really good for shading. And now is colored pencils, and these are pretty much just pencils that are colored. You can shade with these, but you cannot erase them. They're very hard to erase. But the bright side is that they have a lot of colors, and they come in little packs like this, and you've probably heard of them. And you can pretty much color anything with these, and you can, fade them easily. And yeah, I think they're really easy to color with, and if it dulls down, if the tip dulls down, then you can use a pencil sharpener. So yeah. And next we have pens. These are, most people use them as writing utensils, but you can use them for drawing as well. There's usually 3 colors, so there's red, blue, and black. And you can't really shade with these. They're kind of hard to shade with. But you can use this to outline things, or to maybe color something in if you have the time. But these are pretty fun to draw with, but you cannot erase them, which is the downside to it. Last we have highlighters. Highlighters are fun to use because there's so many colors, but you cannot erase with them like most of the things we talked about. I like using these because you can make a thick line and a thin line if you wanted. And yeah, there's just a bunch of colors to them, and they're fun to use. You can make an outline with them too, or you can color with them or do anything. And yeah, thanks for watching the video.